What can you build on, Kevin, from last week? You had some success there.
Yeah, I thought, each last 2 weeks especially, you've seen signs of what we can and be like. So we just got to keep building on the positives. I think the things we got to get adjusted and fixed. We got to come out in the second half, and we got to play better in the second half. Give ourselves a chance to win the games. We've got guys in positions, and we got to put them in better positions at times to get them to where we can go out and execute the call 100% of the time.
What's your assessment of the moving Thieneman closer to the ball, that big schematic change last week?
Yeah, I think he's a good football player. So wherever you put him, I think he's going to make plays. But I think just with certain personnel issues that we have, I thought that where are we going to influence the most where Dylan can make the most success and have the biggest effect on the game. It was right there, and I thought he made a lot of plays there. So I'll say it's pretty good.
Will it continue?
Until we get all our guys back, I think you'll see him. You'll see him bouncing around a lot of different places.
Was there sort of a residual impact to that too? Because it seemed like the energy he was playing with, making plays early, that's the rest of the defense could carry forward off of that. Absolutely. In a way that they couldn't have previously.
Absolutely. I think we got to find their way to get our best players around the ball the best. And if it's moving him there, if it's KJ on the edge sometimes, in the middle sometimes, I think everybody feeds off of that type of physicality and they're having fun. People are playing fun, right? So we have to continue to emphasize that. We're building on the positives of what you've seen the last 2 weeks, and we got to continue to do so.
Third down against Nebraska, was that just a matter of you guys executing at the right time, whereas before you've been trying to do that for a while?
Yeah, I think guys executed. We got to get more third downs. That's what we need to get to. So we did a fair job on third downs against Nebraska. And now, obviously, we go to Wisconsin, and looking at our game last year, that was an area that we did pretty great on last year. So we have to get into third and long situations, and then we have to be able to get off the field.
You gave him a lot of free 15s on Saturday. Is that something that's easily correctable? Obviously the mental thing.
Sure. I think we're an aggressive defense by nature, so some of the pass interferences, or some of them are there. Some of them, let's live with that. We play aggressive, so we got to coach up the technique a little bit better on certain aspects. But the face mask, that's an effort play. It's going to happen. It's a combat. But the unsportsmanlike, we can't have those. Those are the ones. That's a third down and 4, and all of a sudden it's an automatic first down going, and then they score that drive. That one, who knows what would happen on third and 4 there? So the post snap and the pre snap penalties, we got to eliminate, and we're going to have combat penalties. We just got to limit them.
Did you play more zone defense Saturday?
Probably. I don't know the exact number of it, but I would say so.
You think that's just a function of who you're playing, or something you're going to continue to do regardless who you're playing?
I think we have to be able to adapt and adjust to what we've got to see to do. I think we've been so man-heavy these first few games. I think that the ability to mix in some zones and confuse quarterbacks, that's what this defense is about. We have to allow that guy to make decisions post-snap. And if he knows pre-snap what's going on, then he can make decisions and make the throws he wants to, or run the ball where he wants to. So if we can change the pictures post-snap on the guys, it'll help us out.
How important was it to have Nolan out there? I know he got the 3 PIs, but he hasn't played the football game in a long time. Just to get out there and get in the feel of it.
He's here for a reason. We think he can help us and have a big impact on the game. And he brings a certain swagger and a certain demeanor to the field that he comes from winning programs, and he knows what it is, and that's what we expect him to do.
You kind of walking a tightrope a little bit sometimes at corner, right? Between being aggressive and being overly aggressive, how does he stay on the right side of that? Is some of that just getting more game reps after?
I think so. He hadn't practiced really since August, early August for that matter. So he's just getting his feet underneath him a little bit, and some of those I wouldn't change anything. He's looking for the ball. They're both pushing off each other. That's just a judgment call, and we'll live with those. But the ones where he's early or something like that, yeah, that's you got to get his training wheels off.
Gus said the offense huddled more, last week. And do you think that helped the defense catch the breath a little bit?
Absolutely. The time of possession was balanced. And I thought we were fresher, therefore we were able to play harder, longer. So I think complementary football is something that, with the headsets and everything, coach-to-player communication, it's even more important now. Offenses got to realize what's going on defensively, offensively. You got to know what's going on for offense. I think it's balanced. Balanced football is where I see this our conference really well.
Do you have an impression yet of how Jason Simmons thinks football, thinks offense, applies offense?
I think getting around him. First off, he's a great human being, and he's been a very successful head coach, you know, here in the state of Indiana, high school, and he has a certain work ethic and demeanor about him that it's kind of old school, no nonsense. So I would imagine that's going to carry over to what he did. He had a lot of success as a high school coach, winning state championships and doing things like that. And that nature, he called all those plays, and now he's just going to put it up his level. So I'm excited for him. I think he's excited for the challenge, and obviously, you know, he's going to do whatever he can to help his program.
We think we'll still see a lot of KJ at rush in. You use him pretty liberally there.
Yeah, I think based on what we're seeing offensively, you can see him in a lot of different spots. You know, you saw him this past game on the edge and back in the middle. So whatever the offense is giving us, we're going to put KJ in the best spot to make his plays. And he did both at both positions this past weekend.
Is the next step in improvement 4 quarters? Seems like you got 3 quarters down.
Absolutely, we have to. We talked to our guys this morning, and like we have to learn how to handle the success first. Like we gained success, right, our first 2 quarters of the last 2 games, and now we got to get out of halftime and come out. And it's 0-0 again, right? So we got to start fast on defense, obviously, and then we got to learn how to finish and keep your foot down their throats.
Are you tired, Kevin, of hearing how Purdue doesn't have a takeaway?
Yeah. That hurt us once. We did block 2 kicks, so so I was happy about that. But no, we got to, like I said, we emphasize it. You know, we practice it. So you just pray that practice becomes permanent. And on the game time, you see guys on film punching at the ball. So it's not they're not trying to get in football. You know, and I think little things along the way, looking back for the ball, there's a couple interceptions that we thought we could have had if we just looked for the ball. And we're going to keep punching at it, but. It's obviously a point of emphasis from us coaches to the players, and we just got to get it out of the ball on the ground or in the air.
Coach Simmons has spent 23 years in high school football. What kinds of perspectives does that give?
Oh, I think it's a world of knowledge. I mean, some of the best coaches in the world are your high school coaches. I played for a guy, legendary USA Today Hall of Fame coach, Tony Severino, that I learned the most from him probably than any coach I've ever played for or worked for. It's just simple things where they have a certain perspective on young people, right? College kids are still young people, and they help develop young people. So I'm anxious to see how he already had a great connection with our offensive players, how he gets around them and has a rapport with them. So how he carries that over to calling the plays will be fun to watch.
Any impressions of what Wisconsin's going to throw at you guys on Saturday? Because it seems like they're in a place where still a foundation of what they've always been, but maybe a transition to something new. So.
Yeah, I think you go back and watch our game last year. I think they're going to try to be Wisconsin of old. They're going to try to run the ball. And we got the big backs that are still there. Number 1, number 3 are big physical backs that are going to get downhill, and they're going to see if they can win the line of scrimmage and then play action and do some other things. So that's what we're anticipating. Shoot, let's go.